$1 million in gold, and it almost slipped through his fingers. Out on the Bering Sea, Pomrenke just had the biggest season of his life. Things were finally starting to click out at the Tom Cod claim. After a slow start, they had locked on to something promising. It had taken a few attempts and a bit of hunting, but they landed right on the pay streak. Now all that was left to do was to pile the gold into the box. For Shawn Pomrenke, better known around known as Mr. Gold, this was the moment he'd been waiting for. His operation was finally back on track, and even though he still needed another 750 ohms to finish the season strong, the goal didn't seem so far-fetched anymore. He did the math. If they could keep running the rich material they were in right now for the rest of the day and into the night, that would mean a 4 million in just a couple days. But there wasn't much time left. Maybe 2 or 3 weeks at best to hit the target. If this was the spot, he'd have to ride it out till the very end. No more moving around, no more second chances. Everything seemed to be holding together. The dredge was working, the pay dirt was rich, and even the crew spirits were up. So far so good. Shawn eased the pace, deciding to idle things down and check how the soul box was handling all that dirt. Look at that yellow, yellow, yellow. All right, think we're doing it now, boys. And there it was, that unmistakable glint. Yellow, so much yellow, a bucket full of gold-rich material. The kind that makes your heart race and your dreams grow bigger. But just when it looked like things were finally steady, the myrtle iron hit a snag. A hydraulic line critical for raising and lowering. The spuds blew out, and just like that, the whole operation came to a grinding halt. Then began the race against time. With just days left in the summer mining season, this was the worst possible moment for things to break down. Shawn needed those 750 ounces, and now his newly overhauled myrtle iron was dead in the water. The good news, they were definitely on a monster pay streak. The bad news, that gold was sitting just out of reach, buried underground the spuds couldn't touch. They quickly figured out the issue. Either a faulty hose or a bad crimp, but either way, they couldn't waste a single second. Parts were rushed in, tools flew, and tensions rose. But soon enough, they got it done. New hydraulic line installed, spuds working, dredge running. We got the spuds fixed. We're back up and running. Now we just got to follow this pay streak so we can pay the bills and make some money. Fire up that desk. Now that the myrtle iron was up and running again, the only thing on Shawn's mind was digging fast. Every bucket of this pay dirt could be worth thousands, and there was no time to waste. Not now. The crew was focused. The material looked amazing, and the gold was clearly there. You could see it in the bucket. Flakes, chunks, the kind of gold that makes all the blood, sweat, and busted parts worth it. Shawn wasn't going to hold back. Not anymore. He was going to push harder than ever before. On a pay streak like this, he knew one thing for sure. Sky's the limit. After a long, exhausting stretch out at sea, Pomrenke finally came back to town. The salt and chill of the Bering Sea are behind him for now, and he's walking into a place that holds the power to either lift a season or crush it. The gold room at Arctic Sea Mining. This is where all the sweat, machinery, broken parts, and sleepless nights either pay off or come up short. Gold prices are sitting high, really high, and that means every single ounce that comes out of the box is worth more than it was just a few months ago. If there was ever a time for a big haul, this is it, and Shawn knows it. He's still short at 750 ohms. That's a huge number when you're down to the wire with only days left before the summer mining season wraps up. But he's hoping today brings good news. His first stop back in town is to check on the latest cleanout. The gold that was pulled from a short run on the myrtle iron, the crown jewel of his fleet. Now, keep in mind, this was just from a limited run. A few hours of dredging, not even a full day's work. But the stuff they were pulling up looked rich, real rich, and now it's time to find out exactly how rich. The scale flickers to life, and the numbers begin to climb slowly. At first, Shawn and his crew lean in closer. 14, 17, 28. The numbers keep rising. Everyone's quiet, watching. It finally hits 123 ohms, and that's $246,000 worth of gold from just a few hours, $250,000. For Shawn, it's more than just a good payday. It's proof that all the adjustments, all the tweaks to the Myrtle Irene, the long days fixing hoses, replacing hydraulics, chasing the pastry, it was all worth it. That one cleanout alone has pushed the needle way forward, but the day isn't over. There's still more gold to count, and this next batch could be even bigger. While the Myrtle Iron has been grabbing attention out at sea, Shawn also had something running quietly in the background. His inland mine. It doesn't make as many headlines, but it's been producing solid gold all season long. Now they're ready for the final cleanout of the year, and this one matters. They don't do frequent cleanouts on the inland site. Instead, they let the gold pile up week after week. That means today's weigh-in is the culmination of 7 full weeks of work. 7 weeks of digging, washing, running material through the box and hoping it's all building up to something big. They open the trays. Everyone's watching again. The gold is heavy, thick, bright. It glitters in the pan. Even before it hits the scale, you can tell this one's going to be huge. The numbers start again. 310, 20, 30, 40. There's tension in the room. Can they hit 450 ohms? The numbers roll in. 446 ohms. Not quite 450, but close enough, and more importantly, that's just under $900,000 worth of gold. Almost $1 million from just that single cleanout. Shawn lets it sink in. This is the kind of number that doesn't just pay for the fuel or fix a broken dredge. This is the kind of number that pays off everything. Bills, debts, equipment, even investments for the next season. So let's do the math. 123 ohms from the Myrtle cleanout, 446 ohms from the inland mine. That's a combined 569 ohms of gold, and in dollars, that's $1.13 million. Yes, over $1 million added to the books in one day. That kind of money changes everything for Shawn, for the crew, for the entire Pomrenke empire. And it's not just about cash, it's about momentum. It's about validation. All season long, Shawn has been under pressure. Problems with equipment, storms, tight deadlines, high costs, and the constant stress of needing hundreds of ounces to stay afloat. But now things are looking different. That gold is real. It's measured, counted, and stacked in the books. And it proves one thing. They're not just surviving this season, they're winning it. Of course, none of this happens alone. The people behind the scenes, the ones running the machines, fixing the hoses, keeping the gears turning day and night, they've been working their tails off, putting in hour after hour through cold, through breakdowns, through setbacks that would have sent other crews packing, but they didn't stop. They kept pushing because they believed in the ground they were working. They believed in the machines, they believed in the pay streak, and they believed in Shawn's vision. That belief just paid off. This isn't just a good cleanout. It's a season-defining haul. The kind that puts the Pomrenke right back on top. And if this is really the last inland cleanout of the season, what a way to wrap it up. As the gold trays keep coming in, Shawn can't help but feel proud. There's still more to do. Still more ounces needed to hit that final season goal, but now they've got momentum. They've got working equipment. They've got the crew dialed in. And most importantly, they've got the gold. The Myrtle Iron is no longer just a symbol of potential. It's producing big time. And the inland mine, it just delivered one of the biggest cleanouts of the year. Shawn just reminded everyone why they call him Mr. Gold. With over $1 million added to the ledger, the Pomrenke legacy is looking stronger than